Hi neighbors, Tiffany Bentley here with Magenta & Company, division of Kestrel Realty Group, and I wanted to introduce you to our Magenta team. We have Megan Ray, who's a licensed real estate agent, and then we have Alexis Ryan, who's our executive administrator as well as a licensed agent. We're missing Mariah Mackey today, but she is home with her little one. She is our office assistant.
We've been talking a lot about in our office meetings how fun it would be to have our clients here joining us because we're kind of ridiculous sometimes. And so this is our effort to have you join us today.
Yeah, we do have a great team, and one of the things that I love about this team is just how we enjoy each other's company and collaborate, and team meetings are one of our favorite things at the office, I think. And one thing that, as we support each other in this industry and at this team, is we just really have been talking a lot about the support that this community needs right now, and how do we do that? How do we successfully navigate that with the challenges that we're facing today? And so, because one of the things that we really embody in the value of Magenta is just the community support that we give, whether it be to an individual and a house or a whole community on an event that we sponsor.
So we use that in our hashtag community love, in our marketing, and so for our events and things like that.
Yeah, we've been using that for a couple years, just incorporating that, you know, when we hold these events, it's really as like an appreciation for our clients and to support our communities, to show that, you know, it's not just about a house sale, it's about taking care of people, taking care of the community.
And building relationships in the community too.
For sure.
Well, and for us as realtors, helping somebody find their home doesn't just have to do with the house. It has just as much to do with their community.
For sure, yeah.
So,
and it's about timing, and it's of helping people find the right thing that fits them, I think. And so to me, I equate that to investing the time in the community as much as it is about helping them find the right house that comes on at the right time.
when we have an amazing community, we're so lucky to have. I mean, when I don't know how many times I've been standing on the side of the road looking up at a house I just showed, and it's a client from out of town, and they're asking about the community, and I'm like, you'd be lucky to live here.
It is. It's like a little gem. It's a little hidden gem, and you know, I love that. Like when people ask about the community, like you said, I immediately.
It's the easy part.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, God, it's so great. I love watching other people help me raise my kids in the community because they're cheering them on to success, and or they're telling me before my daughter even got home that, you know, she passed a stop sign
Right.
and didn't stop. You know, it's like, that's the thing I love about our community is neighbors just taking care of neighbors.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked me, how did Magenta come about and why start Magenta after the course that I was in real estate for 17 years. And I had a pivotal point in my life where I wanted to build something that was bigger than myself. Because in this industry, you're generally a sole proprietor. And I truly believed that I could create a team that embodied supportive values of one another and to cheer one another on to success, and to support a few other people and in reverse. And it was also about supporting them outside of this industry, about supporting them and their children and their families and their vacations and all the parts that make up everybody's story. And I think that we have really succeeded in accomplishing that at Magenta. And then the next question came of, how do we show the community that we've accomplished that? Like, what embodies getting that out to the community to show that when you walk in this door, that you are just as much of a family member almost, that we negotiate on your behalf just as much as if you were our sister or our mother. And I was driving around one day recently, and I was like, gosh, how do I showcase that? How do I showcase that we have amazing agents at this office, that we all support one another and cheer each other on to success and their hard work and the harmony? And then I was like, that's it. We are located on the corner of hard work and harmony, and I love the harmony in this office. I love that we're not a tier of statuses. we're more like we're all rowing a crew boat in the same direction, and we are all working towards the end goal. And I am so grateful for this team. I would love to let you get to know the team that I am blessed to work with every single day. And so I thought it would be a fun way around the holidays and right now as we're leading into the new year to get to know a few of us here at the office. And so I thought we would just do a couple of questions and answers and just have a fun dialogue for everybody to get to know us. So my first question for Alexis, what do you love about real estate?
I like building the relationships, and I work with a lot of new first-time home buyers, and so it's really exciting as being, a younger person and being kind of in the same stage of life as new home buyers. And I'm excited to, as I start to get more experience and kind of transition out of being an executive assistant into a realtor, kind of walking through those stages of life with the clients that I'm building right now. So, going from first-time home buyer to then buying their family home, and then eventually like their retirement home.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun to watch them and help kind of guide them through of like, this is really scary, and you're like, yes, it's really scary, and it should be. You're spending a lot of money, and it's also really exciting. And
there's something being like proud of them too, because that's a really big accomplishment to buy a house.
It is.
And to finally get to that point where you can. So watching them be proud of themselves and then me be proud of them too, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Handing over keys is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Especially for first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely. I for sure love homes. That's my favorite thing about real estate. We were laughing the other day because I mentioned that maybe I've looked at homes without clients before. But I got into real estate because my friends were asking what if I would go look at homes with them way before I was ever an agent. And I was like, I really like this. I grew up in a house without plumbing or electricity. My mom actually plumbed it and added electricity. Old farmhouse out on the edge of Moscow. And she put a bathtub in the kitchen, and that's how I was raised, and with an outhouse. So I think for me, seeing the potential in a home is, I love to walk through the door and envision what it could be, and it's so fun to hear what my clients think it could be and how they envision it, and the brainstorm that happens with it.
And then to come back like years later, and to watch their vision to kind of, come to fruition. And, because I always say their house is their castle.
Yeah.
It's their treasure box of their memories.
Yeah, and the moment they walk through the door, they're starting to picture where their Christmas tree will go and where their stockings are going to hang.
That's a big one. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Where's the Christmas
It
tree
is
going
a
to go?
big deal. I've had so many clients walk through the door and it's important.
Yes, it is.
But they have to be able to envision their lives, and that's what you were saying, like their growth and where they're going to go with it. It's really exciting and special to be part of. I'm sure you have a few stories.
I have a few stories after several years. One of the things that I love about real estate, a little different, I don't love showing houses, unlike Megan.
I'll show all the houses.
It's a necessary evil. I love looking at people's houses. I don't love showing them. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with showing houses.
This is true. We've been laughing about the tumbles we've taken.
Yes, the dogs that have, tried to
Yes.
eat your shoes,
Yes.
those
Oh
kind of
yeah, I've had houses that's like, well, we won't be showing this one today. That dog is not interested.
No. And a little different perspective maybe just because I'm the oldest one of the team.
Oh, not really.
Not really, I'm 29, perpetually. The thing I love about real estate anymore isn't about the houses, and it's about like more like the honor of what it feels like to be invited into their home. Like that's just really settling in my heart of, these are people's houses, and this is where their memories are made, and this is where their stories. And so being in this industry for so long, I've helped, the estate planning and to be able to sell the house for the estate, or, maybe they're, maybe that's their retirement home now and they're selling that home that has all of their kids' memories. And so it's just kind of taken a deeper meaning for me in this industry of, it's just, I feel very grateful once I've walked through somebody's house. So.
Well, they're going through, I mean, I can't say how many times I've been surprised at people going through really serious, hard life times at the same time they're either buying or selling.
Yeah.
And that we get to be part of that and help them with any part of that process is quite the honor.
Yeah, because just buying a house alone is stressful, but then to be doing it, and I recently bought a house a year ago, one that we had waited many years for. And it was a good reminder for me to be like, oh my God, who buys and sells houses? Like,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's great when you're done, because we got the house we've been waiting for a long time. But it was a good reminder for my clients of like how emotional it is, and how even though we wanted to sell the other house, like, it was like, oh, that's where I brought my baby home.
Right. Even though it's all really good, it still has those components that are so important.
Yeah. So it's just, I love helping people through all those stages.
Yeah. I mean, there's very few things on the list that are that big as to buying a house.
For sure. Yeah. Just a little off topic of real estate, because we love Christmas. Like, we're a little crazy about Christmas. Wait till you see the Magenta office. Oh my gosh.
We've gone overboard.
Just a little bit. Like, Hobby Lobby kind of loves
In that boat we're rowing, we've jumped overboard.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Or we need a bigger boat, because the
Yes.
few trips to Hobby Lobby were a lot. But, and At Home and Michael's, no. And Megan's desk will forever have perpetual glitter.
I have the best desk in the office, for sure.
But what is your favorite memory of Christmas?
When we were kids, my grandma would take us every year, me and my brother and my cousins, and we got to pick out our ornament for the year. And so I remember going and getting so excited about what's this year going to be. And as I got a little bit older, I picked out this really pretty fairy one year. And so it became this collection kind of over the years. And so I have now these beautiful fairy ornaments that I like taking them out and having my kids, look at them and ask me, why'd you get this one? When did you get this one? And so going back, because the years are all written on the bottom, so I'm able to go back and look. I was in 5th grade when I bought this one. So,
and that's kind of tying into the tradition, and you can talk about that, that we decided to start this year at Magenta.
Yeah. So I think that I know that I do that, and Tiffany does that for her kids, and I think you do too. We buy our kids ornaments every year that kind of represents something from that year. And I do the same thing. I write the year on it so that I know how old they are when they get older, how old they were that year.
And I love that none of us knew that about each other, but we've all done it.
And full disclosure, the grandma buys them for my kids. But still,
okay. Grandma
writes the year
love is
on
good
it,
love.
and we put them up in the same thing. We have their memories. We talk about where they came from, what the year we got them, and what was happening that year.
Yeah. And I'm yelling at my kids, not yelling, but be careful!
Why are you putting 5 red ornaments in that corner of the tree?
Yes. So yes, it's a fun tradition. You can talk about the tradition.
Yeah, so we're starting that with Magenta too. You might have seen it on our social media that we're handing out ornaments. You can enter to win an ornament. And so that's kind of our tradition in the office, is to give out ornaments to our clients, our community every year as well.
Yeah. And it's not to build social media, and we don't have to tag people in it. It's just to enter and give back to the community and show our support.
And kind of just bring our little 12 days of Christmas cheer.
And we can't help ourselves.
Really.
We want everybody to have ornaments.
Pretty much, yes. You can never have enough.
It's true.
So
I only have 2 trees at my house.
I have, full disclosure, I have 50 strands of lights on my Christmas tree. I have 5,000 lights on my Christmas tree. Yeah, NASA, I think, uses it as a local landing spot.
That's good. That's good.
As a pinpoint.
A beacon. We need to take pictures of each other's trees.
Yes, we should. I keep waiting for a Vista to bring me a ham.
Yeah, they do. They should. Their bill goes nice. It's very nice for the holidays for you. Here too, at the office.
Yes. So, one of my favorite memories that I think of for Christmas is, and I was always like this as a kid. I don't know why, but I remember, and now that I've lost my mom, it's just even more vivid every time Christmas comes around. But I remember being in our house in Seattle in this huge living room, and I was one of 6 kids. And even when I was little, she'd be like, "Sweetheart, you can open your presents too." And because I would just love to sit there and watch my siblings and everybody else open their presents, and I didn't really care about my presents.
Yeah,
like I
true.
just wanted, and I wanted to clean up the wrapping paper. This huge living room, and it was just a pile of wrapping paper, and I was like, "Can we clean this up as we go?" But now it's still the same way. Like my husband will be like, "Honey, you can open a present." And I was like, "No, I just want to watch everybody else open their presents." So as I love to buy gifts, I know you love to buy gifts, and it's just one of my like love languages is giving gifts, and so it just makes me feel so good all month long. And I'm like, oh, these people definitely need a gift.
This is going to be the perfect thing for them.
Yes.
Do you still do that with the wrapping paper? Do you?
Oh yes.
That's a good question. Do you clean up as you go?
We
or
have
do you-
a few garbage bags around the living room.
Yeah, I put them in the garbage bag as we open the gifts.
Yeah,
I don't like the piles to clean up afterwards.
So Lucas, you'll appreciate this. My husband, he sets up a hoop, and we have to shoot all of our. We pile
Of course
it
he
away,
does.
and we have to shoot it, and so it's this competition with our.
I need to come
wrapping
to your
paper.
house. I only played for a few years.
But it's also his OCD way of making sure everything goes in the bag too.
I love it. Love that. Okay, what's Megan? Tell us one quirky thing about you that maybe people outside the office, other than your closest friends, don't know.
Well, I was saying earlier how I had no electricity growing up, so, and no plumbing. So, when I went off to college, I had my roommate, I bought myself a TV. We had no TV either. And I made my roommate tell my mom that it was her TV because I was too worried about how my mom would respond. And then my roommate also had to always remind me to flush the toilet because I had napkins growing up. So she still teases me about it. At my wedding, she said, "Megan, I wonder if she's flushing her toilet yet."
Well, your husband could appreciate that, maybe.
Yes. So I guess that's one quirky thing about me. I do flush my toilet now.
That's good. That's good. Okay, Alexis. Go ahead.
I am very soft-spoken, and I'm a very soft, loving person, but I do not like it when people hug me. I don't like to be touched, really. I know it's weird, and people don't know that. Megan was really shocked to find that out.
I know, because you have the biggest heart, and you're the most generous and just appreciative, and so people just want to hug you.
Like me.
I'll be nice about it, if somebody hugs me, I won't
do
shove them away.
A soft pat.
Yeah, it's not. But nobody knows that about me, but I don't
Well,
want it.
the one client that you finally had to say, "Can you stop hugging me?"
Oh, I did, yeah.
I steer clear. It's hard, but I do.
That's so funny. My quirky thing, well, there's a lot. That list is lengthy, but
It's hard to pick
aside
one.
from all the perfectionism and things like that.
Also, we should note that we came up with some questions beforehand, and Tiffany had to write it 4 times.
Maybe. Yeah. That's a little bit of perfectionism. One quirky thing about me, it's not really quirky, I think everybody knows it, but I always laugh that my earrings are generally compared in size to hubcaps. So if they're anything smaller than a hubcap, I usually will say, well, why bother? So if you cannot lead into a room with all the jewelry, then
What's the point?
What's the point? You might as well stay home.
I love it. It's like the first time I was here, she was wearing these amazing crab earrings
Yes,
and bracelets.
they were epic.
I mean, they are epic. I mean, we've maybe talked about them at my house. Your crab earrings. They're like bejeweled and bedazzled.
You either love them or hate them.
And one of them broke and fell off that day.
It was a
And
sad
and
day.
it sounded like, I don't know, something very large had hit the ground. I can't even think of a hubcap.
It's awesome.
And I knew I was in the right place.
You know, what's funny about my analogy with hubcaps? This is hysterical. So growing up, my dad was a retired firefighter with the Seattle Fire Department, and then he was injured in a fire. And so then my parents had multiple car dealerships. This is in like the 80s and 90s when the cars were just enormous boats. And this is before like new cars were really prominent. A lot of people just drove used cars. And so when we were kids, my dad would always say, like, if you guys find a hubcap on the side of the freeway, I'll give you $1. So my mom had 6 kids, right? And so every so often, every few miles, we'd be like, stop, there's a hubcap. I gotta earn $1.
Someone has to find you. We have to find our hubcap. Has anybody found you? Like,
I need a Bentley hubcap.
I know.
Because it would be the only part of the car that I will ever get.
I'm gonna be on a mission. That's my goal. That's my goal for 2021, everybody.
Yeah. That is hysterical. So last question, because is what's your vision for Magenta for the coming year? And less about goals, because I know we'll work so hard that we're going to meet our goals. I know that unequivocally about our team. That's one thing I love about our team is, you know, we all are, there's not one person kind of pulling the wagon. But more so like, what's your vision? What do you see? What do you hope to see for Magenta and for our community?
I mean, I think our community is, for 2021, especially more than ever before, really needs to be embraced. But just supporting our community and being there for our community and not worry so much about building business, but just what does our community need? What do our clients need? How can we be of help and being here for them?
Building people.
Having the door open and being available and giving people what they need.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I know we've been talking about like what can we do to really give back to our community, and so we have some really great ideas of like how we're going to give back to our community, how we've been giving back to our community in the building upon those, and continue to make those events and those different things that we do for our community better each year.
Yeah, and those are such hard work, you know, and sometimes in the moment we're like, God, this is such hard work. Why did we do this? And then
because we love it.
Because then at the very end, like when we gave out the kindness coins or something or whatever it was, or the movie nights, it's like, or she's covered in cotton candy from head to toe. And then I look at her and she's like looking at me like I'm covered in cotton candy from head to toe, and I was like, I know, but wasn't it so great? Like it feels so good to your soul. So that's my vision too. Is trying to take what we have and what our vision is for the community and what our goals for the community, not self-driven goals, and to showcase those and to
share it
and to promote it and to promote kindness and to promote just loving your neighbor and just going back to what we said earlier about just hard work and harmony. I think those two things, regardless of who you are, where you are, those are the things that are going to unite our community and build our community and make them stronger and successful.
So thank you so much for joining us in our morning meeting today.
We hope you love where you live.
And we're located on the corner of Hard Work and Harmony. And check out our over-the-top but gorgeous Christmas decor.